Hi guys, Happy903 here once again, and this is the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time on the Nintendo 64. This is one of my favourite games of all time, actually one of the few games that I can play over and over again, and I don't get bored of it despite how many times I've played it and how many times I've done the first section of the game especially. Probably more times than I like to count, but yeah, I still don't get bored. It really is one of my favourite games. I've loved it ever since I played it back in the late 1990s, and I still love it just as much today, if not more. And it occurred to me that despite the fact that I have so much love for this game and for this franchise, and the fact that me and my friends talk about this game and, like I said, the franchise so much, it hasn't really featured on my channel. There was an Ocarina of Time episode of Flashback Friday last year, but apart from that, Legend of Zelda is pretty much non-existent on my channel, so I thought I'd change that. And what a perfect way to do it with this game. Like I said, one of my favourite games of all time. So we're going to get straight into this one now. This is the Ocarina of Time. And we've got to name our character and our file first. And I'm going to name it Link because the NPCs in the game do refer to this name as your character's name. Obviously, Link's name is Link. And I'm not going to have like a silly name or anything. I'm just going to keep it simple. So right, here we go, we're going to get into it. This is going to be the opening cutscene. I'm going to leave you with this one. I'm going to have a blast playing this, and hopefully you guys too. And like I said, I'm going to leave you this opening cutscene, and I will see you on the other side. Right, so that was the opening cutscene, and if you haven't played this game before, or you haven't seen it played on YouTube or anything, it might not make much sense to you, or that's sort of good. That's not a bad thing. It doesn't make much sense unless you really know what it's meant to be about, and obviously what the opening cutscene is trying to say. But basically, now the Great Deku Tree, which is that brown thing that you can see in the background, is talking to the Navi the Fairy. I think it's pronounced Navi. If it's not, let me know in the comments and I'll probably change it. But I've always said Navi, so I'm going to stick with that. Anyway, the Deku Tree is now talking to Navi, and basically letting it know about what's going down in the world, and obviously that bad things are about to happen. As you've seen the opening cutscene, yeah, bad things are going to happen. I'm just going to leave it at that for now. I'm not going to spoil anything for you guys. And basically, Navi now has to basically go on a quest with Link to save the day. There's no real way we can put that apart from what it is. And basically, he's talking about the boy without a fairy that needs to begin his journey now. Like I said, the boy without a fairy is Link, and Navi's now going to go join up with Link, and then we're going to get on our way. We're going to go see the Deku Tree, and we're going to go and save Hyrule and do all the things that we do, because we're just absolutely badasses. Right, here we go. Navi is making his way to Link's little treehouse, and we're going to get on with it. So, like I said, this is probably one of the games that I've started over probably more times than any other game, and I still really love it, and I'm still really excited about doing this. Even though I've done this part so many times, I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to have a blast of it. It's been a while since I've actually played through the whole game, or a good point of the game. I think the last time I played it was on the 3DS with the Ocarina of Time remake, sort of the PhD style port that came out a couple of years ago. I didn't quite finish it. I've got quite far through. I'd say I'm probably about 60-70%. I'm not going to go into it and explain where I am, because obviously if you haven't played the franchise, it might spoil things for you. So yeah, I'll leave it at that. I'll say I'm about 70%. Take it as you will with where you might be if you know the franchise and the game well. But anyway, I'm just going to stop rambling now. Navi is now talking to us, trying to wake us up, and let us know that the Great Deku Tree is wanting to talk to us, and you're going to hear that voice of Navi quite a lot of times throughout this game. And a lot of people don't like it, a lot of people really get annoyed by him, but I actually don't mind him. He's actually quite a cool little character. And I think if Navi wasn't on this quest with Link, I think the Ocarina of Time wouldn't be as great as it is. Even though he doesn't have a massive part, I think he just adds that little bit more to the game. But anyway, just going to get on with this. Going to go through his text. Now, basically this dialogue that's going on. Like I said, the Great Deku Tree has summoned Link, and then now we need to go see him. But we have got a few hurdles to start off with early on in the game. And we're going to get straight onto them. But right, we're in the Kakari Forest. This is Link's home as a child. And this is basically where he's lived for years and years. And he's one of the only ones without a fairy. I think he might actually be the only one without a fairy. Which obviously makes him a bit of an outcast. But now that's about to change. Now we've got a little friend of ours. So we're going to go talk to this girl here. She's actually quite important in the game. I think this is her. I'm not going to spoil things. I'm going to try and keep things as spoiler free as possible. I think this is it. But maybe not. Either way, there's a very important girl if it's not her. But I can't remember just off hair colour which girl it might be, like who it is. She might actually be this one. Anyway, no spoilers. But basically now we need to go see the Great Deku Tree. However, it's not quite as simple. We have to get hold of a sword and shield first before we can go do that. And that's going to be our first quest. And I might look like I'm just walking around endlessly. But what I'm trying to do is find some rupees. I need 40 to buy the shield. And that's basically my first task. That's pretty much what I'm up to at the minute. I want to try and get them as quickly as possible. I was starting to sort of faff around too long doing this bit. There might be some really quick way of getting these. But I'm not entirely sure what it is. There's a lot of speedrunners out there who really can do this game fast, utilising glitches and stuff like that. But this is a Let's Play, so that's not what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be playing this game with the full from start to finish. So yeah, things are basically going to just go as they go. But like I said, there's probably some quick way to do it, but I don't know what it is. So I'm just going to do it basically the old-fashioned way, what I've always done. And what I'm doing now, I'm going to head over and get my sword. Which is just through this little maze here. It's not too difficult to navigate through. There's a boulder there which will sort of hurt you if you get hit by it, obviously. But I'm going to try and avoid that. So right, this is the first treasure chest. This is a pretty famous sort of melody that you'll hear quite a lot in the game. And basically inside this is the Kakari sword. So that is the first thing that we need. And now we're going to try and get our 40 rupees so we can get the shield from the shop, which is nearby. We're already halfway there. We've already got 20, so that's not too bad. So right, we're going to equip this because then we can cut the grass down as well, which should make things a little bit quicker on our quest. So right, we're just going to run after the boulder just so we don't get hit by it. And we're going to start... Wrong button there. Want to press this button. There we go. So right, there's no rupees in that one. But we're going to head back through this little tunnel now. And we're going to go try and hack some stuff away and try and get some rupees. There is actually some nearby. I don't think I actually need to do this. I think I know where they are. When the penny drops, you just sort of think, oh yeah, that's exactly what I need to do. So that's what I'm going to go do now. In this house near where the stones are, there is some rupees in some treasure chests. So I'm going to head in there and I'm going to get them first. Because that should either take me to the 40 or very close. I think it takes me very close. And then I should have about 9 or 10 to get. I think it's 9. If memory serves me right. So right, here we go. We're going to go for the second treasure chest now. This should have 5 in, yep. And I think this one should also... Yeah, there we go. So that's took me to 31. So I've got 9 more to go. And this should have a heart in. We don't need it because we haven't been hit by anything. But if you do get hit by a boulder or anything, you know it's there. So right, here we go. We're going to head out. I know where I can get the rest of the rupees. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that now. I should be able to get 5 by jumping over here. There we go. And right. There's 5 at the top of there, which I need to go around this house. And go along that bridge, and then I should have 41, which should be what I need to get the shield, because it's 40. Once we do that, we can go see the Great Deku Tree. Right, there we go. Right, so we're going to head into this shop now. It's just this building on the left here, and we're going to get the shield, and then we're going to go see the Deku Tree, as I've said. This girl wants to talk to us. Basically, this is a little tutorial on how to... target things basically, and as you saw, it said the L button. I'm actually playing the GameCube Collector's Edition that came with Mario Kart Double Dash. That's what it's called. Yep. yeah, if you have the N64 version, it'll be the Z button. Or if you're playing on an emulator or anything, it'll be the Z button or whatever you've set as the Z button. But being the GameCube version, this is the L button, obviously, because the Z button does exist, but it has a different purpose. So, anyway, we're just going to go through this little dialogue sequence here. We're going to head into this shop now. We're going to buy the shield. And that is the last thing we need to do in this section. We're going to go and see the Great Deku Tree. Now we're all equipped to kick some ass and save the day. It's a nice little easy task for us to ease us in. Basically, just get us used to some of the controls. Obviously, the style game is fairly new at the time. Obviously, a lot of things it's not your conventional sort of SNES game, because obviously this is on the N64, and obviously the N64 was quite new at the time. So yeah, it's basically just a way to get used to new control systems, how things are going to work and that. But now that we've done that, we're going to go talk to the Great Deku Tree. It's going to be our first big task of the game. And it's a nice little way to ease us in because it's not too difficult. And it's a good learning curve if you're not used to the franchise and the game. Right, this guy here is probably one of the few characters in the game that really, really grinds my gears. He really gets on my nerves. He's just so full of himself, thinks he's so much better, even though the Great Deku Tree wants us. And wants us to save the day, not him, yet he still thinks that he's all high and mighty and he's better than us. And he's like that throughout the game on the occasions that you do encounter him. Right, there's a couple of enemies here. They're not too difficult, they can't actually hurt you unless you walk into them. And when we kill them, it gives us a Deku Stick, which it might seem like a really, really pointless thing, but they do come in handy more ways than one throughout the game, and something that we do actually need, so we're going to go ahead and equip them. We don't need them just yet, but we might as well equip them seeing as we've got them. And that's the only way they can hurt you. I can't believe I just walked into that thing. I feel like an absolute... I'm not going to say it now, but I can't believe I just did that. That's a proper noob mistake to make. But anyway, this is the Great Deku Tree. We're just going to go through this little dialogue sequence now. Right, so as you've just read there, the Great Deku Tree has been cursed. And basically now we need to go inside the Deku Tree and cure him that curse and obviously save the day. Because that's exactly what we're going to do throughout this game, because we are the hero of Hyrule and that's just how it rolls. And what would be the point in video games if we didn't save the day and save the princess, because that's what Nintendo's all about. So anyway, on that note, we're going to head inside the Deku Tree now. I'm probably just talking absolute rubbish, but it's the first time it comes to mind. It's Let's Play after all. It's what it is. So, anyway, we're inside the Deku Tree now, which actually is the first dungeon of the game. And what better way than this to end the video? So, what a perfect time, yeah. We've done the opening section of the game. We've obviously done those little tutorials that you get at the start. And now inside the first dungeon, so that's the perfect thing to start off part 2, and that's what we're going to do. So thanks for watching, I hope you've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it. Like I said, I've played this section of the game especially probably hundreds of times over the course of its existence, and I still love it. I've still enjoyed it. Just those first 15 minutes, it takes me back every time I play it. It just reminds me of my childhood and why I love this game so much. And hopefully if you guys have experienced this game before, it's done the same to you. And if you haven't, hopefully I can bring you over the Zelda series and make you love it as much as I do, because that's my task and hopefully I achieve it. So on that note guys, bye for now.